Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation and Kentuckians, let's give a big Kentucky round of applause and welcome to this man who's come all the way here to speak to you tonight, Tito Ortiz.
Wrestling saved my life. It kept me away from my friends who caused trouble. I didn't have no time for that. I worked my ass off in school. I went from having a 1.7 GPA to having a 3.5 GPA. I had a chance because I chose it, not because someone pushed it on me. It was because of what I wanted in my life. I ended up graduating high school, very thankful of it, with a GPA of 3.75. And I thought I'd be a big man on campus. This ain't no problem, I can do this. And I told my mom I'm leaving. She's like, what do you mean you're leaving? I can't live under this man's house, which is my stepfather. I can't live under his house. I gotta be on my own. I'm gonna chase this dream and make it happen. She was okay, she supported me. I got a job at Allied Moving Service. One of my friends turned me on to methamphetamine because we were working long hours, we worked 16-hour shifts. And for about a year, I got addicted. And it scared the shit out of me because I was working 16-hour days, 6 days a week. And I was at some local bar, and one of the coaches that when I wrestled in high school came up to me. He's like, "Tito, you doing all right?" "Yeah, coach, I'm doing fine. What's up?" "You ever thought about coming back and wrestle?" I go, "Well, I'm actually on my own. I really don't have anyone to take care of me." He goes, "Well, you're Mexican, right?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, we get you financial aid." I go, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah, but you got to make the choice. You're not looking good right now." "What are you talking about? I'm fine. What are you talking about?" Well, that conversation was ended. I partied with my friends that whole night. Got home on Sunday morning, about 2 in the afternoon. Looked in the mirror because I had to go to work on Monday, and I was about ready to go to bed. Looked in the mirror, and the height I am right now is 6'3". I was 185 pounds. I'm 240 right now. I was sucked up, big black circles under my eyes, pimples all over my face, and it scared me because I turned into my father. And it was a shock and reaction knowing that I'm doing the wrong thing right now. And there was someone that came up to me and asked me if I would want to wrestle again to change my life. And I realized in high school that wrestling did change my life. Well, Monday morning I called my Allied Moving Service that I worked for, and I told them I can't come in today. What do you mean you can't come in today? Like, I want to see about this high school thing, about this wrestling thing in college. I want to see about possibly competing again and getting back into school, just because right now I'm at a dead end in life. And I took this chance. And he said, "Well, if you don't show up, you're fired." I go, "Sir, I guess I quit." And I normally don't quit from anything, but this is an opportunity that I had that he gave me, my coach. I walked into his office at, I think it was 9:30 a.m. on Monday morning. And he had a big smile on his face. He's like, "Tito, I didn't expect you to be here." I go, "Sir, I don't want to turn to my father." That was the biggest change in my life that I've ever had. Because I went on to get my associate's degree in junior college, and got won the state title twice in wrestling, and I got a full ride to Cal State Bakersfield to get my bachelor's degree. But prior to that was when I started my mixed martial art career in UFC 13th, May 30th, 1997. I competed as an amateur, never fought before, ever. I trained for 6 months. There was a guy who fought in the UFC called Tank Abbott, who I trained with, and I thought that I would just work my ass off to get where I was. And at that point, I competed twice in one night for free because I don't want to lose my scholarship in college wrestling. Because once again, I want to get my education, and be an educated person was very important. And come to realize that when I went to college at Cal State Bakersfield, that the coach, me and him didn't see eye to eye. He always asked me. He was always just like a hardcore, just military mentality. Everything was by his own way, and if you didn't like it, get the hell out. You don't like it, leave. And it came to that point where either I was going to kick his ass or I was going to leave. So I made the bigger and better decision of walking away. I walked away and I started competing again in UFC. A year later, I became the world champion. Defended that world title 5 consecutive times, and I was chasing the American dream. This American dream is real, and it's not gone. It's not impossible to make happen. You just got to work for it. And right now, as I see in this country, let me back a little, because my career is very important to me, because I was able to make this American dream possible. That have gotten to a point now that's been 25 years of competition. I'm 47 now, and I'm done. I'm out of competition. When I ran for city council, the reason was because of Donald Trump. I seen what Donald Trump did for our country, and being a Mexican and people calling him a racist and so forth, and I had to put my name on him. I did it because of the future of my children. That's what's important to me. And hopefully for each and every one of you guys here, each one of you people that are watching, this state is important to you. And someone like Eric Deters to do what he's going to do for you guys and keep his word. And as Donald Trump told me, you got two things for the rest of your life: your word and your name. Don't tarnish your name for anything, and always keep your word. And I've done the same thing for my children. When I ran for city council, I got the most votes in Huntington Beach history, but to come to realize I wasn't part of the agenda. They talk smack on me every single week in the newspaper, on the news channels, and of course, this is the whole pandemic that they had of the COVID situation, and they want to push this stuff down people's throats. And I feel bad, and I'm going to talk this because I'm not a politician. I'm far from a politician. I'm an American that really cares about my children's future, as I say. But a lot of people lost their lives. I saved about 40 of my friends' lives because I got them a conservative doctor that gave them ivermectin, gave them hydroxychloroquine, that saved their lives. One of my friends, which was my coach for 15 years, Saul Sleece, and God bless him, lost his life because the doctor says that there's not a part of the protocol with ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine. I had the medication to help his life. And it I don't want to cuss, but it fucking hurts my feelings so bad.
You cuss.
It was my best friend. I mean, I don't want to hurt anybody saying, oh, he's not shine politician. I'm not a politician. I'm a real American. I'm a patriot. I've been to Iraq 6 times with the USO. I've seen our troops. I've been to every base across the United States. I see what this country's about. And most of our crowd here, you guys are a lot older than me, and you remember the Reagan era. The Reagan era is what I learned from as a kid. And I didn't understand politics at all. Zero. But I watched him talking about communism, about how it's coming here, and before it gets here, you guys don't even realize it's getting here. Well, everybody, it's here. And they're trying to take over. What's more important to you? Money, or the fact that our children and our families live under an American patriot country, a conservative country, where we got 3 things. We got God, we got faith, family, and freedom. Those are my 3 yeses. Like I say, I really want to talk by the bottom of my heart. It's important to me. And when I ran for city council, they ran me out. I lasted about 7 months. They had a gay pride month there, and I voted for it. That's fine. I said yes because I have a few gay friends, and they're over 18. I have no problem with it. And once again, if you're 18 and over, that's your decision. That's your decision. But do not push it on my children, because kids can't even learn how to brush their teeth. They don't want to put on deodorant, or they don't want to wipe their own ass the right way unless you show them the right way. Now all of a sudden, you're going to teach my children how to be a sexual predator. And I'm going to say that because most are. And what they're trying to teach in California, I got sick of it. I couldn't handle it. I sat there on city council, and they have the Gay Pride Month, and I voted for it, like I said. And I said, you know what, the officers have done an amazing job here in Huntington Beach, and I'm going to do HBPD Appreciation Month of August. And they're going to fly the flag with the blue line through it. And I have it as an H item. And once again, I know nothing about politics, and I just had to learn through looking at one of the politician books and kind of learning as I learned, as I got. And by being an honest man, do the right thing and use my common sense that this is going to work for me. But all of a sudden, I get a call from the chief of police saying, Tito, we can't use that flag. You can't do that because that's a white supremacist flag. The excuses they use to put someone down is if you're not on their side, you're a white supremacist. And the reason that I'm here right now is because when they called me and asked me if I'd come speak, I go, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to Google and see who Eric Dieter is. And you're a far right-wing white supremacist. I go, shit, this is my man right here. But that's their excuse. I mean, there was a guy who was just running for Congress and just switched over from a Democrat to a Republican just a couple days ago, I believe. And I believe the Democratic Party called him a white supremacist now. They try to elevate everybody. They try to make everyone a victim. And this is not normal life. And these people are pushing hardcore. You guys, I don't know if you guys get an opportunity to see on social media because they're not showing on the news what's happening in China. There's a big uprising. In Brazil, there's a big uprising. In Sweden, there's a big uprising. People are sick of it. This one world government is trying to happen. They're trying to make it happen. But us as Americans, we need to step up and make sure we do the right thing. And at the end of the day, fighters like Eric Deters is going to fight for the right reasons. That's why I'm here. I mean, it's important to me. I mean, I came from Florida. Let me get this back to the story of the city council. Them called me a white supremacist flag flying. I was like, it didn't make sense. He called me like 10 times in one day saying, you can't do that, Tito, you can't do that. When we had BLM down here rioting and so forth, I was like, yeah, they tried to do that last summer and they didn't push, they didn't do nothing. And this is why I ran for city council. I was down there in Huntington Beach. It was in June during 2020. And BLM came down one weekend. And during that weekend, the weekend prior that I was there, they were going downtown and trying to like break stuff. And during that time in LA, they were burning places down. And that weekend they didn't do it because most of the guys kind of stood up and said no. Well, they put on social media that they didn't do their job right. They're coming back and they're going to burn the whole city down and they're going to rape the children. And I was just like, rape the wives. And,
yeah. Didn't work very well for them. They didn't show up.
And it didn't work very well for them there. I called one of my buddies who's the sheriff of Los Angeles sheriff. And he broke me down. He goes, make sure that the officers are going to line up like this, the protesters are going to line up like this, you guys are line up like this. He goes, just make sure you watch hands and watch eyes and see people communicating with each other. And he gave me a bulletproof vest. I called 40 of my friends. We put HB Strong t-shirts, and we stood downtown Huntington Beach. And I called one of my friends on HBPD, and I asked him, I go, Tito, I go, Jason, I go, you guys can't stop from walking downtown. He goes, no, we can't stop from walking downtown because what they were planning on doing was walking downtown and bust all the doors and the windows of all the restaurants and stores there and burn them down because they thought they were going to do it. And he said, no, we can't stop them. I go, can we stop them? He goes, no, we cannot stop them. Code word. I was like, all right, I see the situation now. So that's it. I called 40 of my buddies. I had HB Strong t-shirts and we stood down there and we stood our ground. They tried to push once. I remember looking at one of the guys and I was like, you're in the wrong neighborhood, dude. You need to go on the opposite side. Like, oh, who the hell are you? And this boy goes, hey, that's Tito Ortiz. I go, yeah. I go, this is my city, man. You guys need to go on the opposite side. You want to do your protesting? Do it civilly. Don't try to be burning our places down. It ain't happening. We stood our ground. There was 4 guys that walked from our side to the middle and pushed some old man down. And some of my friends that had the HB Strong t-shirts, they rushed to try to break up the fight. And I said, stop. We're here to protect the buildings. Let the officers do their job. The cops came in, they broke the guys up and so forth. I looked to the left of me and there's 15 guys, all in BLM stuff, and they tried to flank us. As we pushed in, they would have flanked us, but my friend who was a sheriff who told me about this, and I recognized it. And I was really thankful because the cops looked back at me. And after it was all done, like, how in the hell did you know about that? It was one of my buddies, a sheriff, said that was the problem that ended up happening. Was when they started fighting in the middle, everybody rushes it and they get around them, and that's how they get by. Well, I stopped it that day. Huntington Beach didn't get burnt down. Long Beach got burnt down, Garden Grove got burnt down, Santa Ana got burnt down, Los Angeles got burnt down, Beverly Hills got burnt down, and these are the cities that are coexisting around my city of Huntington Beach. And that day we stood strong. This is not America. In California. It's disgusting. They're doing smash and grabs in jewelry stores. They're robbing homes. They're robbing people with cars. I mean, they're robbing people with purses and wallets. I mean, it's literally like the purge, pretty much. It's scary.
You're not seeing it on the news.
You don't see none of that stuff. Well, here's another situation with the news. Big tech controls everything.
Yeah.
Mainstream media controls everything. And they make people believe in what's happening. And it's scary because people kind of lost their whole just common sense of what's going on in life because they watch the news every single day. And they think that's reality, that's real, it's bullshit. I'll tell you right now, I've seen it, plain and simple. They're reading off the script, and they're trying to make people conceive of what's truly going on, and it's not true, completely. The reason why I say that, because a month and a half ago, I was in Florida after Hurricane Ian. And I went there when my buddies called me, Captain James Marco, He called me on a Saturday right after the hurricane. He said, Tito, you need to come down here and kind of raise the morale and help out a little bit. And I was like, yeah, of course I can. Well, I raised $50,000. I went down there and I got generators, fuel, making fuel runs back and forth from Fort Lauderdale, because only in Fort Myers and Cape Coral we were able to get 20 gallons of fuel. So we made big runs. We had 5-gallon trash cans, or not trash cans, but fuel cans, and we filled up this whole truck with them. We went back and forth, and dropping off generators just to help the community. And to see the community come together the way they did, it gave me hope for this country. And I was so thankful that I went there. I was so thankful for him. Get a little emotional, because I was able to give my kids a little hope of this country. Because in California, what they're doing now is disgusting. And I can't see how they can swallow what's happening, because they're letting it happen. And I hope, all you Kentuckians, I pray to God that you guys see the truth of what's happening right now. It's disgusting. I had to move my kids out of California and give them hope. Because at the end of the day, I wish my father would have did that with me. I wish my father would grab me and say, son, I love you, but he chose drugs over me. And right now, I choose my country over everything, and protect my children, protect my family. I hope at the end of the day that we all have hope, that understand this American dream is still alive. And with fighters like Eric, Deters, there is hope. And when I left from city council, and they said I was a white supremacist, it said that I was doing things, and this is the kicker, this is the one that really got me out of there, was put my children on the news for not wearing a mask. Okay, and I'm gonna do my own research, and in 1912, the Spanish flu was here. There was 1.3 million people died from pneumonia for wearing the fucking mask. Excuse my language, but I'm being honest. And I look at doctors because I go for surgeries from my fighting career. And doctor goes from room to room, taking off a mask, I put on a new one. Taking off a mask, put on a new one. But you got nutkids wearing a mask in their car. They're hanging it on their visor. They're putting it in their pocket. They're putting it in the middle part of the car. Does that make common sense, or is that just stupidity? And when I moved to Florida, there was none of that. DeSantis has stood his ground. And just yesterday, he said the kids will not be mandatory to have vaccinations at school. Well, in California in 2023, first of the year, every kid has to be vaccinated or you don't go to school. So I had to watch out for the safety of my children. So that's why I moved to Florida. And I got to see hope. I got to see that this American dream is still alive, and I got to show my kids that American dream is still alive. And each one of you guys know tonight that American dream is still alive. We just got to fight for it. And once again, this ain't liberal, Republican, Democrat. This is good versus evil right now, guys.
Amen.
I pray, and people can call me crazy. People can call me a white supremacist. You know what? I know the truth. At the end of the day, I'm a patriot of this country. I'm an American, and I'm going to continue to fight for this. And as I left Huntington Beach, and it was the hardest thing in my life to live there for 47 years, and I made a lot of money, but I'm still a blue-collar guy. I still got to worry about the bills I pay month to month. I still got to work my ass off to get to where I am and give my kids a bright future, and I'm going to continue to do that. So hopefully you guys can give a bright future for your family, for your kids, and for their kids, because it's important. And right now, as I say, we're fighting good versus evil, and everyone got to come together and make the right decision. You want unity? This is what America is about. United we stand, and divided we will fall, but let's hope this doesn't repeat history. Thank you guys so much. Tito Ortiz, I appreciate this.
Let's get it up one more time for Tito Ortiz. Again, we're going to stick around for photographs. I want to do one thing that I forgot to do. Actually, I was saving it. I just want to share with all of you. I am very honored, and this ought to say something to you. The Trump bikers, Boots on the Ground, national organization, have endorsed me. Ride for 45. George Coelho, R.C. Pittman Casper, the head of that organization, has become my dear friend. Ride for 45, George Coelho, is also, his organization has supported me. These are ordinary, down-to-earth Americans, and they love the Bulldog. Now, I want to show you something. I want to put this on the video, and then we'll have fun. George Coelho, I got choked up when I opened the box. He said I was getting a gift from Ride 45. So I opened up the box today, and George says, you're my brother. I said, I'll be your brother, buddy. And he got, I'm going to walk out here. And he got me a Ride for 45 vest. Isn't that great, Tito? So I guess I'm an honorary member of Ride for 45. But let's have fun. Thank you all for coming.